Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. So where am I heading and what am I riding? Well, I'm riding a Magicycle deer. This deer is totally loaded up with stuff today. I'll tell you in a minute. But we're heading towards the post office. Have a couple pieces of mail that have to go out. Yeah, you know, I don't really have that many letters to ever send out now. It's mostly paid online, right? But there are a couple things you have to pay using regular mail. Hope you guys got your forever stamps. I think the stamp prices have gone up, if I'm not mistaken. I got mine just before the prices went up, but I've got more stamps than I know what to do with at this point. You get 100 at a time. It's gonna take me a long time to get through 100. Yeah, it's pretty loud. They're cutting down some trees, putting the trees in the chipper. So we're going to the post office first, and then after that, I've got a long ride to do. I'm gonna try to go down to the Botanic Garden, and that's a 60-mile trip, 60-plus mile trip, round trip. I may not be able to take you through the entire time. I don't think my batteries will last that long for the GoPro and the audio recorder, but I'll bring you as long as I can. But we're gonna have to split this up into multiple videos. There's no way I can do this all in one video. It would be way too long. So I'll record as much as I can and stop when I have to stop. How's that? Alright, I'm gonna go up on the top on this side. I've done this before. I find that it's actually easier for me to offload the stuff this way. Reach into the back here. Got some letters. Actually, it's just some bills. Pay the bills. I'll let this lady go first. She'll be in front of us. All right. And then we will go. Let me see how we're going to do this here. We'll go around this way. All right. I've got to program the GPS to get us there. Yeah, it's a little farther away. Typically 30 plus miles one direction, 30 plus miles the other direction. Now, the Botanic Garden started changing their policies for how they charge, so I don't even know whether they're gonna allow my bike in. Now, in the past, I've been able to go through the Botanic Garden area. You can't go through the entire gardens. They just let you go through the outskirts of one section. And I'm going to see if I can do that again this time. If they don't, then, well, then it's just a ride to get there. That's fine, too. All right, we're going to go through this tree noise again. I'll see if I can drop down the volume level for you guys, if it's too noisy. We were lucky. They didn't start putting things through the chipper quite yet. Let's take a left over here. So why did I decide to do it today? Well, in just one day's time, you know, I mentioned on the previous video that I had to delay my ride with the Traxxas Lynx because the air quality was like in the 110 plus ranges, 0 being ideal air quality. So the higher the number, the worse your air quality is. And then I took the Traxxas out at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the air quality had come down to the 60s, 64, I think, something like that. Temperatures was 78, 79. So today, I take a look at the air quality and it's down in the 40s. So it has cleared up quite a bit. So everything's pushing down south. The guys down south, I'm sorry, you're probably gonna get what we had. Hopefully it dissipates a little bit more than that. So because the air quality is better today and temperature is about almost 70 degrees right now, it's going to move up. But even if it goes up, it'll probably only go up to the 78, 79 ranges, I think, by the time we get back, hopefully. All right, it's going to be a little noisy here, too. I'm going to drop the volume down. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. It's some type of generator thing that they're doing over there. So I have this Deere loaded down with a lot of batteries right now. I've got the 20 amp hour battery on the bike, and then I've got 2 other 20 amp hour batteries strapped to the back rack of the bike. Yeah. The thing is, the Deere uses the same battery as the Ocelot Pro, and I got 2 batteries for each bike, so theoretically I could actually bring 4 batteries if I could strap that many down. But no, you don't need that many. I don't even think we'll probably need the second battery just to get back, but I don't even think we need that 3rd battery. But just in case, I brought it because I intend to do a lot of throttling today. So I figured, why not? I have the battery bag. That's the fireproof bag that Magicycle gave me. So why not bring 3 batteries, just in case. Now the thing is that to tie this down with the straps, the bungee cords, it's not that easy. I can hear it bounce on the rack. I mean, it would be better if it was sitting inside its own boxes, but you know, 2 big boxes would be too difficult. I can definitely feel the drag of the extra weight. You know, so that tells you, you know, as a heavy rider, how that affects your bike. But then you add 2 additional batteries in the back on top of it. You know how heavy batteries are, especially 20 amp hour batteries. Yeah, it really affects your range. So I fully expect that I will have some problems with range today. Now, I've never taken the Deere this far out before. I mean, we're already down to 80%, but this is under load, under it working. If I were to stop the bike and just let it rest for a bit, you'll see that the number will go up. But truly, this is really kind of what you're really getting when the bike is working under load. I'm gonna pull off once we make this turn. I'm gonna pull off and program my GPS to get us there. So let's pull up a little bit here so I'm a little bit safer. All right, let's take some shade here. All right, sit tight. Okay, I'm back. So what I did is I plugged in an address in the general area I want to go to. As you know, that the GPS typically works better if you actually have an address. I could put Botanic Garden, but the problem is it could drop me off anywhere by the Botanic Garden. There's a specific area I need to get in at. So we're going to go through an area called the North Branch Trail, which goes from, I think, from Chicago all the way to the Botanic Garden. Of course, we're not in Chicago, we're in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. And even though the Apple map is telling me one way, I know that there's another way I can go because I've done it before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow what I believe I need to do to get me to the safer areas. And then at that point, then I'll let the map take over and tell me what I need to do. But I usually put on the maps early just in case I get lost or something. It'll help bring me back to where I need to go to. Now you might notice that my cell phone is kind of blocking my view of the gear shifter. That's actually okay for me. I don't use my gear shifter all that much anyway. I really only use that thing if I'm having to climb a hill and have to pedal at the same time. Then the gear shifter becomes an issue to be able to see what I'm doing, but I really don't need to see it. I can go by feel. You know, if you either have resistance or you don't have resistance, right? All right, we got to pass this light here. So it's perfectly fine to do that. Now, people have said to me to get myself one of the handlebar extenders. I do have them on a couple of the bikes, but there's just too many bikes, and I never put it on the deer. So to mount this cell phone mount, because it's kind of the handlebars on the deer is a little different. It's kind of thin on the top and thicker on bottoms, and so it's kind of hard to mount. So I got to mount it up a little bit higher in order for this mount to work. So it kind of blocks the gear shifter, the view of the gear shifter. I can still access it. My thumb can still get to it. So it really doesn't matter to me. I don't need to see it. All right. So anyway, what else is new? I mean, we've got a long way to go. There's a lot of things we can talk about. I can tell you stories. We can talk about bikes. Yeah, we'll do a little of everything. So interestingly enough, we haven't talked about trolls in a while. Let's talk about trolls. What interesting negative comments have I heard lately? Well, let's see. One person who I think is against e-bikes put a comment in multiple videos, the same exact comment on multiple videos of mine, telling me that I was going to kill somebody going on the bike paths with this big heavy bike that has a motor on it. Yeah, I don't think she was in favor of e-bikes. Makes you wonder though, you know, if you're really not in favor of e-bikes, why are you watching videos about e-bikes? Yeah, so you know what we did with her. Yep, she's a goner. She can comment all she wants, we'll never see it. I think it's a she, from what I could tell based on the name. What else did we get that was good? Recently, okay. The guy told me, he said he watched the video for about 5 minutes. I don't remember which video it was. It was one of the older ones. He says, and everything else was boring. I need to learn to shut up. Here's my comment to that. Why did you keep watching if you didn't like what you were watching? Why did you keep torturing yourself then? Yeah, I don't understand sometimes why people make comments like that. I mean, you go out of your way to make a comment just to let me know that I need to learn to shut up. Well, it's a riding video. If I shut up the entire time, it would be kind of a boring video as well, I would tend to think. Now, there's a simple solution. If you just really wanted to watch me ride, and maybe that's why he was watching, turn the volume down. Turn it off. Then you can watch me ride and I've totally shut up. Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the comments are really interesting sometimes. Guy had an electric mower. Yeah, those things are really quiet. All right, I'm beginning to wonder whether I'm going to be able to make it to the Botanic Garden and back. Just looking at how much I've used up in terms of battery power already. So we're going to have to take a left over here. Let's see if this guy lets me make the turn in front of him, and it looks like he will. The key is to put your hand out, let them know you're making the turn. We've had a couple other comments too that are rather interesting. Yeah, just know that, you know, when comments like that come in, some of the YouTubers just leave it. I usually will delete you. I'll delete you and ban you, because I don't need to see that kind of comment constantly from people like that. More than likely, when they make comments like that, they'll never come back anyway. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, and they just continue to harass you. So I don't want to see that. So I just ban them. Yeah, once you're banned, you can't make any more comments. You could make a comment. It's just nobody will ever see it. That's the thing. You'll see it. We won't. So they'll be thinking that they're continually making comments, and that everyone's going to see that, but nobody's going to see it. It's a waste of your time. So I think those are the guys that usually hit the down button, yeah, the dislike buttons. But usually those kind of guys will do it only once and then they'll walk away. But there's guys that will come back and constantly do that. Interestingly, the dislike thing has gone down to 1. I think for the last couple weeks, we've only had 1 dislike rather than the typical 3. Remember I mentioned that we usually get 3. And because it's always the same amount, I keep thinking it's got to be the same people. Otherwise, why would it be the same amount every single videos, right? But it's dropped down to 1. Maybe the other 2 kind of gave up. Or they're taking a vacation. That's a possibility. They may be on vacation. Speaking of vacation, I told you guys I'm heading off to Alaska. Yeah, I take a cruise to Alaska. I'll be gone for a while. I'm hoping I can get some videos out to cover the time that I'm gone, but I have a gut feeling I might not be able to do it. There's too many things going on at the moment, and it might make it difficult for me to pre-make some videos. So maybe everyone's gonna get a 1-week break from the Russ is Right channel. I don't know. We'll see. Keep watching though. I mean, it might pop up, it might not. Or if I make a few videos, I may post them in advance, like every other day or every 3 days or whatever. But it's only a week. It's not really bad. It's not like you'll miss me all that much, I don't think. Hopefully not. Then come back after the first week of August, and you'll see me at that point. But here's the thing, if you want to make sure you don't miss me when I do come back, make sure you hit the bell icon. I know a lot of you guys may not be using the bell icon to signal that a video from Russ is Right has come out. But if you do hit that bell icon, at least this time around, you know, while I'm gone, you'll know when I come back, because when the first video comes back up, you'll know it. And then after that, if you don't want to use the bell icon anymore, then you can just take off the bell icon at that point, right? Then you'll know when the first of the videos come back online, and then deal with it. Then get rid of the bell if you don't want it. But yeah, so that's what I suggest you do. You know, towards the end of the month, I think, end of July, go ahead and turn the bell icon on or something, and then turn it off later, if you need to, or just leave it. It's up to you. The thing is, what happens is the bell icon will send a notification to you on your phones and stuff, let you know that there's a video that came out. That's all it does. All right, so as you notice, I'm going through the same typical path that I do. And that's okay, because we got to head past that Prospect Heights and Mount Prospect area again to get to where we're needing to go. There is a more direct path. I know, for those who are local will say, oh, you took the long route. I'm just taking routes that I'm familiar with, and roads that I know that are a little safer for me, that I'm used to. That's actually kind of important for me, so that's why I do it the way I do it. So yeah, no need to let me know that I'm going the wrong way. I know there's faster ways to go, but I go areas that I'm used to, areas I feel comfortable with. That's all it is. It is a nice day. Now, as far as what am I wearing today, we know it's going to warm up a little later. It's already starting to get warmer now. I can feel it. I've got my UV rated long sleeve shirt on. This one's a little long. You can see the sleeves are long. That's okay. Doesn't matter. As long as it keeps the sun off of me, that's all that counts. I've got my my gloves on, of course. That's in case I fall. I've got my my Wrangler jean shorts on, as I usually do. Yep. What else do I wear? Oh, people have asked me about my shoes. What kind of shoes am I wearing? They're just made by Skechers. Here, I don't know if you can see it. Here, let's stick it out here. Can you guys see that? I don't know. There it is. Yeah, and then the socks are just those socks that go up to your ankles. They're not full length socks or anything. Don't need it. I haven't worn the full length socks for many years. You know, I used to wear you know, regular long length white socks, but you know, why do you need that? Got shorts on anyway. So yeah, if you take my shoes and socks off, yeah, that part of my feet are pretty light colored. The rest of my leg is pretty dark. Above the shorts is pretty light colored too. The other thing is I know that you guys don't usually see me because it's usually I'm usually just riding, so all you really see is the bike going forward. You don't really see my face. I think the only time you really see me during the summer is when we do the bike reviews. I do a quick shot of myself and then I show you the bike. And people have asked me before, do people recognize you? Sometimes they recognize me because of my yellow vest. But I said if I was walking around town, I don't think most people would even know it's me, even if they watch the RUSSISRIGHT channel, because I'm not on camera that much. That's okay too. That's okay too. Sometimes people do recognize me though. You know, even though I don't have all my typical bike riding gear on. I think most people wouldn't even recognize me if they saw me. Alright, we're going to pass through this area here. We always pass through this area. This, you know, if you were to ride this street, can you look at how fast the cars go? Do you want to be on that road? I don't think so. This is why you have to kind of watch out and choose roads that are safer for you. Choose the side roads. If you have options between a road that moves this fast or maybe one that's parallel to it that doesn't move quite as fast, take the easier road. Alright, the deer is down to 64% already. I don't know whether I'm going to make it, even with 2 batteries. If we don't make it, we'll get to the North Branch Trail, do a little bit of it, and then turn back around and head back. I don't think we really need to go all the way to the Botanic Garden. But I know that this bike will use up more power than... Typically, I ride the Rad Rover 5 there with my 2 20 amp hour unit pack power triangle batteries. And the reason I use that one is because it only peaks out at 750 watts. This bike will probably peak at, I don't know what it is, 1100 watts or something. So you can imagine it's actually using up a little bit more power when I throttle down really hard on it. I think I have to be more conservative how I ride this bike to get there. Maybe we won't go quite as fast as I have been doing. Alright, we're going to have to take this turn here. I didn't get to wave to the police officer. I made my my hand signal, let the post office guy know I was going to turn. Yeah. Comments. Yeah, we still continue to get the comments about the stops, and I think that's only because these are new people. They're not familiar with what I do and why I do. Yeah, most often I won't be stopping at stop signs, just so you guys know. I know we talked about this way too many times, but it continues to come up, so let's just say it again one more time. If you're new, yeah, you won't be seeing me stop What I typically will do at best is a rolling stop, which means I don't stop, I just kind of roll through it. But I will slow down. Now I had noticed, I was watching myself, watching the videos, and even though sometimes I slow down, it really doesn't even look like I'm slowing down. Yeah. But I think the video, the angle of the camera lens and the camera itself, it makes it look like you're moving faster than you really are. And so a slowdown even doesn't even look like you're slowing down. Slowdowns, you know, if I was doing 18 miles an hour, I might slow down to maybe 9, 10, 11, something like that, and then I'll continue. So it's never going to be a full stop, and even at that rate, it looks like, you know, you haven't stopped at all. Now, I have talked to our local police officers about it. I talked to one specifically who was a motorcycle cop. I asked him if he would give me a ticket if he saw me do that, and he said no, most likely no, because he says, if I see that your intent was you were keeping safe, you were looking around, you slowed down a little bit and you went through it, he's okay with it. And because he understands, because he is also a bike rider, he's a motorcycle rider, that the full stop actually puts him more in danger. He said the same thing as I do about it. Puts him more in danger because he's got to hop. He doesn't have to hop off. Motorcycles are lower to the ground, but he says, I have to put my feet down and everything, and he says, so he understands what the bike, where I'm so far up, I actually have to hop off the bike and then hop back on. He says it's actually less safe for you to do that. So he says he would be okay if I actually did it the way I did it. Now the thing is not every officer will feel the same way. Okay, he understands because he's a motorcycle cop, but that doesn't mean all cops would do that. And there's a thing called police discretion, where you can choose whether you're going to ticket a person or not. He would not. Others might. So just be aware that that you're not immune to being ticketed. So yeah, but that's a gamble we take. I don't really want to. We got some type of emergency vehicle coming here. I think it's the fire department. He's slowing down. I don't know. He's slowing down for the turn or the intersection. All right, I've lost my train of thought again now because of that. I will tell you, my memory is getting pretty bad. Makes me worry a little bit, you know, when your memory starts to go like that. I just wonder what it will be like in years down the road, how bad my memory will be. But since it's kind of early stages of it already, it kind of tells me what might end up happening. That's not good. I remember when I was younger, when I was in my 30s, thinking about what will I be like when I get older? You know, would I have problems? Would I not? Yeah, I already start seeing I having problems already. So I am 64 and a half right now. But yeah, give it 5 years. What would it be like in 5 years? Whew. Hard to think about something like that. All right, I hear more emergency vehicles coming. You know, above, right by the lights, there's a little white light that's on. That usually kicks in when the emergency vehicles kick in their lights and sirens. So that kind of triggers it so that the light stays open for them to pass through. So there's something going on. We're gonna have to wait through this. Can you guys hear it? They're moving slow though. Good time to take a sip of water. All right, they made their turn. Now we're stuck at the light though. All right, so our battery shows 60% right now. 60% on the first battery already. Wow. would have thought we'd have more, but we did go to the post office first. That ate up some power. Now, I have 2 batteries back there, but I don't know if the other one's fully charged. I did charge one of them, because that was the one that I thought, you know, why did I start out at the 70% levels? I charged that one. The one that's on the bike itself, I know is fully charged. So we know we got 2 fully charged batteries and one that might be 70% or less, or maybe fully charged. I don't know. And like I said, I have so many lithium-ion batteries in the house. I don't know what I've charged and what I didn't. I've got to make a chart to keep track of what's been charged, I think. I may have to label these batteries or something. All right. Keep going. All right, keep going. Now, I have not really been paying too much attention to the map yet. I just have it on just in case. Now, the Deer has cruise control. I could set the cruise control to where I don't have to worry about it. Maybe we'll do that. If we stay at 20 miles an hour and less, we might be better off. Going too fast, just going to eat up my battery. Problem with the cruise control, it takes at least 8 seconds to set it. Sometimes it sets, sometimes it doesn't. And by the time it sets, there's a stop sign. So you got to go through the whole procedure again. If it was one continuous ride with no stop signs, probably wouldn't be a big deal then, right? But no, you've got to at least make an attempt to make some type of stop. You got to make sure that they know that you're coming through. The thing is, she's honking at the other car. Car behind me wanted to come with me. So she honked them because she felt that it was her turn to go by at that point. All right, so as you might know, we are in the Arlington Heights area at this point. I believe this is considered Arlington Heights at this point. Yeah, it is. And all right, we're going to have to get through this light a little bit faster. Get through the light a little bit faster and then slow ourselves down again. Now, there will be a point where I will be taking Gulf Road for those guys who are local. Yeah, Gulf Road's not the best road to be on, but there's a point where you have to take a certain amount of Gulf Road to get to the other areas I want to be at. So where I'm heading, just for you guys that are local, I'm heading towards Morton Grove. And what I'm going to do is try to take the North Branch Trail from Morton Grove, probably around Austin and Beckwith area, for those who are local who might know the Morton Grove area. And then take North Branch Trail from that point on further north. And I'll evaluate based on what I think our batteries are doing at that point. Because we're down to 55% on this battery. Now, 55% doesn't mean you have until 0 before your battery dies. I know on I'm not sure if it's this Magicycle or the Magicycle Cruiser. I think it was a Cruiser. When it hits around 11%, something like that, yeah, essentially you're down and you're dead. The bike won't have enough ability to continue on. It'll stop at that point, and then you'll have to switch out your battery. So it doesn't go to 0. You just have to kind of know what your percentages are, or you can change the meter to read actual voltages. But again, you need to know at what voltage will the bike cut out, right? So these are things you have to do yourself to find out, see what the range really is on your bike. I tend to think if I were to throttle this like I'm doing now and cruise control a good chunk of it, it should give me more range. That's my guess. Because I've heard where they said if you pedal, you will have more range. It's true, but what if you were to throttle like I'm doing now and keep it consistent? I would tend to think that also helps your range. So the Deer, of course, is a full suspension bike. You've got suspension in the front and also suspension in the back. There is a spring in the back. The spring is not adjustable. It is what it is, but I feel it. Yeah, I feel it bouncing. I think it would be nice if that thing had the ability where you could change it, where you can make it less bouncy or more bouncy, depending on how you like to feel the ride. But it is not adjustable. Okay, I'm gonna go forward, even though it says turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go forward, keep going, let's see where it goes. So what I'm doing again is I'm trying to set the cruise control, so I'm holding down the throttle. Now I let go. On my right hand, you can see the throttle thing is not being used. I'm not pedaling either, so it's on cruise. So here's the thing with the North Branch Trail. It goes quite a distance. We're going to be heading north on it. If you headed south, you would be going into Chicago. I have never taken it all the way down to Chicago. I've only gone to probably the Niles area, and that was about it. And then I kind of turned around and came back. I don't know. I keep saying maybe one day I'll go further, but I don't know. I don't really have that much of a desire to heading into Chicago. I did meet one of our subscribers on the path last year. Yeah, he yelled out, "Russ!" So I stopped, turned around, and went back after him, and he stopped and waited for me. Yeah, we had a good talk. He came from Chicago, and he went up to the Botanic Gardens. So yeah, it's possible. All right, we're gonna keep going straight. The nice part about having a bike like the Deer to do a ride like this, it's got some power behind it. If I needed the power because I got to compete on the streets, I know I have it and I can do it. Sure, it'll eat up some battery to do it, but it has the ability, right? %54%. Always keep an eye on your battery, all right? Keep an eye on your battery. Know how far you're going. You don't want to be stranded anywhere. That's the worst. Now, here's one problem that I do know. Because I have the double batteries sitting on the rear rack, there's no space for me to put my tool bag. If I had a front basket on the Deer, I would be putting my tool bag in the front basket, but I don't have one on the Deer. I did request another front basket for the Deer Mini, which I'll put on there. I usually have front baskets on most of my bikes. If they have an option for it, I try to get one. Because of this situation, if you put a battery in the back, you need somewhere to put your tools. I have no tools with me. If I were to get a flat right now, I'd be in big trouble at this point. I don't even have an ear pump with me. Speaking of ear pumps, see how things segue into different topics? Yeah, get yourself an ear pump. Don't be hand pumping these big fat tires. It takes forever to do it. Get an air pump. I have two of them right now. I have one that I've been recommending for a long time. It's made by Veep or Vape or Vape. Nobody knows how to pronounce that thing. It's in the accessories thing that I show. It's in the accessories thing that I show on my description of all my videos. And of course, there's always the RUSSISRIGHT.blogspot.com site. That's a duplication essentially of the accessories list. So yeah, take a look at that. That's a Amazon thing you can get on Amazon. That's a good pump. I've been using that for years. And recently I got one from Himiway. Himiway sent me one of theirs. The Himiway pump is quieter, I will say that. It's always loud when trucks pass you. The Himiway pump is quieter, but it's bigger and longer. Yeah, so it's going to take up more space in your bike bag. But I think it's less expensive. So those two pumps seem to be good. You can get the Himiway pump on Amazon as well, even if you don't have a Himiway product. You can get that pump. There's an affiliate link in the description of all my videos, and if you use that link to get to the Amazon site, then and place your order for Himiway that way, then I get a small little commission for that as well. So appreciate that very much. I know a lot of you guys have actually ordered the other pump, and I've used that for many years. Today I pumped up my tires with the Himiway pump because it was sitting on my sofa. I think I used it the last time, and I'll tell you that the deer, I don't know how long it's been since I did a deer video. A couple of weeks, right? Maybe? Yeah, the front tire had already dropped down to 14.5. I usually have it at 20 pounds of pressure. You know, you can pump up your tires to various ratings, but I usually have mine at 20 pounds of pressure. It was down to 14.5. I don't know how it dropped that much. I probably didn't pump it up on the last one or two rides because I figured it was fine. So really, if you think about it, it's probably been sitting for several weeks. So yeah, pump up your tires. You will naturally lose air out of an inner tube for a bike. That happens on pretty much every bike. It's not just this bike. So if you don't check your air pressure, or you haven't checked it in a while, I mean, check it because it will drop. Check all the connections too, and check all the screws. Make sure everything's tightened up. We've been talking for weeks now about the kickstand, right? Yeah, check the kickstand. The kickstand's always loosening up. I was shocked at how loose a couple of our kickstands were. I mean, to the point where the kickstand was ready to fall off. If I would have waited even longer, it would have probably fallen off on a couple of the bikes. So, all right, this thing wants me to turn left. I'm not going to turn left here. This is Euclid. It'd be more of a major street to turn on. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze down a couple of the side streets and take that instead. Alright, car behind me is probably wondering what I'm doing. I'm just hand signaling him, let him know I'm going to take a left turn over here. Yeah. Forget about taking the big streets. Take some side streets. Take some side streets, get down this way. %. Yeah, we're still doing okay. Yeah, that's about the best I'm gonna do for stops. It's not really a stop, but I do hit the brakes sometimes and slow myself down a little bit and take a look.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
This must be garbage day for people here. Yeah, whenever you see garbage pails out, I don't know about your area, but out in our areas, we have to bring our garbage to the street. We don't have alleys around here. In Chicago, you have alleyways, but suburbs, a lot of times you don't. So you have to bring the garbage out to the front, and then they will pick up your garbage on given days. So they got garbage and recycling bins here. We are in Mount Prospect at this time, just so that you know. All right, we're gonna eventually end up on some streets that we don't want to really take, but we have no option but to take it. Now, probably coming up soon. My feeling is we will end up on what is that road? Des Plaines River Road, and then to Central or something. I wonder if there's an easier way to get there. This is basically the general area we did when we went to the Des Plaines River. If I went further down, I would hit the Des Plaines River. We've already done that. We're not going to do it again. So here's the thing too. GoPros, for people who do recording with GoPros, will know GoPros will overheat if you leave it on too long. So you do need to shut down and let it cool down. Now, the only reason we don't shut down really as fast as some other people do is because the wind blows up against our GoPro when we're riding. If you were doing other type of things for this long and you didn't have the wind blowing on it like we do, it would probably shut down. Speaking of shut down, this might be a good time for us to switch out to another video. I think we've been going quite long at this point. Anyway, I appreciate you following along today. Continue watching. We're going to continue doing this ride. I'll try recording that section of it. I may skip certain sections as the camera cools down a little bit. But anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.